going to introduce to you now Shelby and Zach Garner, who I actually first met last year at this very event. And they were in a particularly joyful mood when I met them because they had just won not one, but 2 of the raffle prizes. So they were able to take a back-to-back vacation to Palm Springs. I was ready to pack them up into my rental car and drive down to the closest lottery place and get them to buy me a ticket. Anyway, Shelby and Zach began their story with LAM in 2007. And we'll share with you how their lives have been changed by the discoveries and improvements in care realized in the 2nd decade of the Foundation's existence. Please welcome Shelby and Zach Garner.
Thank you very much, Sue. Appreciate the very nice introduction. And Shelby's only got 15 or so tickets in the raffle this year, so we'll see what happens. So we've been asked to talk about the last 10 years of LAM, the really exciting years, I think. Excuse me. It's safe to say that the last 10 years have been extremely exciting for patients and families. Through the support and the funding of the LAM Foundation, groundbreaking research has led to major progress in understanding, diagnosing, and most importantly, treating LAM. These breakthroughs have had profound effects on the LAM community, and personally for Shelby and I, they're nothing short of a miracle. Where before LAM patients only had hope in community, now clinical trials, supported and funded by the LAM Foundation, have brought us sirolimus and a new outlook on life. As the husband of a LAM patient, it's certainly been a roller coaster of emotions. I remember when Shelby was first diagnosed, I did what I'm sure many of us do, and I Googled LAM, which is an extremely bad idea for anyone that's newly diagnosed. In 2007, it was an even worse idea than today. The results I got was that Shelby would be lucky to live 10 years, and it would be a very hard 10 years. So it was a very terrifying Google, probably my most worst day on the internet. So if you Google LAM today, the first result is the LAM Foundation. And the LAM Wikipedia page is updated to reflect new science that is very promising. But again, in 2007, the basic idea was that, it was hopeless. So it was terrifying, and I remember shooting off emails to my family saying, my gosh, we have 10 years left of my beautiful bride. And for a while, it went much like we dreaded. Shelby's lung function decreased, her activity levels suffered, and we began to have frequent hospital visits due to complications with her lungs. And then, thankfully, the miracle of sirolimus came into our lives. I still get excited anytime I tell people about Shelby's story and how much this drug has impacted our lives. So with that, I'd like to introduce Shelby, the strongest woman I know, to tell her story about sirolimus.
The shoes may have been a little ambitious for this microphone, so let's go over to that. My diagnosis with LAM came in 2007. After I started having repeated lung collapses, I had a major one, 50% on the right, and many more to follow. I was born with TS and had already had a full nephrectomy on the left and partial on the right. So at that time, LAM was just one more thing that they had to add to the list of things to deal with. The only real treatment at the time was a bilateral paradesis, which unfortunately, as we all know, is not always 100% effective. I spent a number of years in and out of hospitals with chest pain and partial collapses that would require chest tubes. I had a couple of pockets that didn't reinflate, so those were the little troublemakers, and I was back in the ER. I had Dr. Young, shout out to Dr. Young to help me out, got those puppies puffed back Let's see. Every 3 months, Zach and I were in the ER, back and forth. It was pretty much our routine to be in the hospital. We had no treatment. And we would roll our eyes because I'm sure a lot of you have experienced when you go into the ER with chest pain, they think you're having a heart attack. Not true. So my shortness of breath and struggles to do normal activities worsened as time passed. Now, if we fast forward 3 years to 2010, I was being treated for tumor sclerosis, and a doctor who's treated me referred me to Dr. McCormick. Apparently, we heard that Dr. McCormick was doing promising things with a new drug to help stabilize the growth of tumors and diseases like LAM. This was the MILES trial. This was the start of my life on sprawlness. The last 5 years have been remarkable. My lung function has improved and allowed me to go back to the things I love most, like working out, traveling, and simple things like walking around the mall. The opening of the LAM clinic in Nashville has also been a huge relief. ER visits are a thing of the past, and I no longer have issues like I had, and I've been fantastic for the past 3 years. In short, I feel like stillness has given me my life back. The feeling of going from hopelessness to having a true option is hard to describe. This is our 3rd LAMposium, and Zach and I are excited each year to return and find out about new trials and studies that may lead to the next big breakthrough. The sense of support and community have been amazing, and the theme of Stronger Together this year, I think, is more than appropriate. And I would like to say to our fabulous MC, she's very fabulous, but I think the reason they use the platinum anniversary and it hasn't been 75 years is because we have done 75 years worth of work in 20.
Shelby trying to tell me we're nervous. We're fabulous. Thank you. Shelby.